Terran player.
Yeah.
So he's got
That
two
fast
Marines.
concussive shell basically keeps the Protoss stuck in his base until he's able to amass a good deal of units. Keeps him off the tower for a little bit, the Zelnaga watchtower, and keeps him locked in his base.
So two Marauders, a Marine, a third Marauder coming out, concussive shell, very good to deal with Stalkers, very good to deal with Zealots, just good, just all around good to deal with like small army to army battles. The second gateway, Robo, so two gateway Robo. I'm wondering if this is going to be two gate Robo expand or two gate like Chrono Boost the crap out of Immortals and do some type of
There's a
push.
third gate.
And oh, okay. So
He
third
just
gate.
put it down though. So is that a
And he's
normal?
getting
Is that a
more
normal Protoss opening, Mike? The two gates and one Robo.
Two gate Robo is okay. It's usually now the standard's like two gate Stargate. Or three gateway Robo works, but the problem is three gate Robo gets stomped by four gate if it's not done correctly, because
Like
usually
in PvP,
you don't have
you mean?
enough units. Yeah, in PvP it gets stomped by four gate because they don't have enough units to deal with the pressure that four gate can allow earlier. So, but I did see a thread on Team Liquid today actually that has a little variation where you still build the Robo, but you don't make that immortal as quick, and you opt to get some sentries, and then you can play out from there and pretty much fight off and beat a four gate. So people look into it. Observer coming out of the Robo facility, gonna go across the map and scout. Gonna switch to Bash's cam, and just check out what he sees. He might know that there's an expansion just based on the saturation of the SCVs, but he sees 3 barracks, 2 tech labs, 1 reactor.
And that second orbital's finally landed. It's been upgraded and landed for Maker now. He's not doing anything. He's not doing any rush kind of play. Heavy bio, no tech yet. Just getting the standard upgrades: stem, shield, concussive, and throwing down his first engineering bay.
Well, our Protoss player does see that the second orbital command is up. It's in the natural. It's dropping mules and it's doing what it's doing. So I have to see how he responds. If he's going to respond by just opting to make a ton of units really quick and know that he can be 500 mineral ahead in the army, or if he's going to choose to expand. And there's a probe going to the natural, so expansion it is.
Yeah, because right now, I think honestly, if Maker were just to go against Bashington's army, I think he could roll it over relatively quickly. But I think he's going to choose to take his lead and edge it forward a little bit and make this a 100% win, as opposed to risking it maybe. And we talk about that a lot in our previous casts, is how that's what separates the pros from lesser players, is when they take that small lead that they get and they edge it forward into a really big lead, as opposed to pissing it away and losing.
Well, as a Terran player, I'm going to ask you now. Do you think he got that third gas geyser a little quick at the natural, or pretty standard stuff?
No, because he's only at 100 right now, and he's getting upgrades. Like with all those upgrades, it's a lot of gas, even if you're just building barracks units. So no, I think that's pretty decent.
Yeah, he does have stim, he does have combat shields, he does have concussive shell already, and he is researching +1 weapons, so he's putting the gas to good use.
Yeah, and medevacs cost 100 gas apiece, and they're going to be coming very shortly. Possibly a reactor on the factory, to switch with the starport. So he's definitely going to be spending a lot of gas in the near future.
Well, still pretty much 4 sentries, 3 stalkers, 3 zealots, 2 immortals for our Protoss player. I feel like that would get totally stomped by this bio army that we have for our Terran. So, and he gets scanned, and he's going to scan the warp prism, so he knows there's going to either be drops or some type of transport, or, something ridiculous is on the way, and yep.
And he takes steps to do that. Like, he puts that supply depot up at the furthest corner of his base as soon as he sees it. And it's trying to, if you look at his rally point, it's going to go right where it's building. So it's going to be seen, and it's not It's not going to happen. This isn't Bronze League Bashington. I'm sorry.
Yeah, especially after the scan, like pretty much I would have left the warp prism. What I would have done from there is I would have done, or I would have
It
done,
basically
yeah,
turns
that's
into a
right.
pylon, I think, at that point. You just go attack
Yeah,
and then leave it to warp in.
you can do a two-pronged attack. Like if he were to go, I don't know if Bobcat's on my
Mhm.
camera right now, but if he were to go and take down the destructible debris by the natural for the Terran player and move one attack in that way towards the natural, and then have the warp prism somewhere in the back of the main and drop 4 zealots into the mineral line there, then the
Yeah.
warp prism, even though it's spotted, is still productive. But if you're gonna spot it and all it's gonna do is just fly over there and try to do some type of, you know, like warp in, completely useless. By the way, this huge bio army is going to move straight across, and he's going to use this factory in the air to scout ahead, which obviously he could do with the medevacs or a Viking or something like that. But what it's also going to do is it's going to float above his army and almost cause like a visual distraction. Oh, he's not moving it. Oh,
Bastion
all
sees it.
types of force.
This is a big engagement
There you
right
go.
now, and I feel like we could see the end of the game very shortly. There's really not much to be said. This massive bio army is taking down all of his units, and he's got nothing left. And there's a good game. And that's the end of
Yeah.
game one. Cheese Factory loses to RS 1-0. Maker's up, and Lost Temple will be the next map, which is weird because that's usually considered a Terran map. Not usually, it is considered a Terran map, and Bashington
If he
is purple.
does, if he does a really fast 4-gate build, it's not a bad map. It's pretty good.
But, and also, thinking on the Cheese Factory side of things, they could be thinking there's a lot of room for cheese in that initial platform that you start in.
If I was gonna do something really cheesy, I'd go like Metalopolis or something crazy like that. I wouldn't go for Lost Temple though. But
Wow, well, those are both 4-player maps, you know?
yeah, no, understandable. But it's easier to, I think it's easier to cheese on Metalopolis than it is on Lost Temple because Lost Temple has that weird arc before you go up the ramp, whereas Metalopolis has like the natural kind of. It doesn't have that weird archy like spot where you have to like sneak by. You can build like right off to the side, and you can still be close. I would use Metalopolis more for some cheesy strat. But that engagement in the middle, by the way, I mean, he threw some sentries down, but the sentries kind of went in a line like the same angle as the walkway instead of going like across to actually cut the army. Had he like, I'm not saying he would have won the battle by any means, but
Yeah.
had he cut the army into like a third or a half, he would have stood a way better chance. I mean, in the end,
Yeah.
he probably still would have got stomped, but
And we see a lot of good players win with less units than their opponents if you just have excellent control. If he had done that two-pronged attack like you were talking about, and was paying attention to his units, and brought him in one way and was able to to run away, and do little harassing attacks, I guess he would have been able to maybe at least get even with him, and that's didn't happen. It seemed like he just kind of smashed all of his units into his bio ball and lost. So we'll see though. We'll see what happens this game. I imagine he's got an idea. And here we go. We're
it's on
starting.
you.
He's got an idea ready for Lost Temple. If he picked it, he's got to have a plan.
You would hope. Sorry for the late response. I was definitely yawning. I'm very tired right now.
That's all good.
But I've seen very good things come out of good force field play. By the way, like you said. Let's get some spawning positions out of the way real quick. Spawning 10 o'clock position, Purple Terran, Cheese Factory Bashington. Keep calling him Bash. And spawning at the 9 o'clock position, Orange Terran, RS Maker. So we're on close positions, so this isn't going to be like a long macro game where everyone expands a whole bunch. I wouldn't be surprised to see quick 2 barracks, maybe even quick 2 gateway, stuff like that.
No, I don't. I've never seen Maker rush like all in one base rush. I don't see that happening unless he's just so confident that he thinks he can win. this is good for a cheese factory because I feel like the longer a game goes and the more into a macro game it goes into, the better player is probably going to win. So this is good for him right now because if he can kind of rush him and put some pressure on him early, he might be able to get a win.
Well, Maker's going to know that they're at close positions as long as he saw that probe.
Yep.
I mean, that was really, really fast. We're at 12 supply now for the Protoss player, so we should have... Okay. He opts to go Assimilator before
Gas
the gateway.
first. Strange.
Alright.
But again, it's Cheese Factory. French Canadians.
The only thing that tells me is he's gonna go gas heavy something, which is either I'm waiting to see if, because you don't 4-gate rush and get gas first. It doesn't happen. I mean, there's no point.
No, not
4-gate
usually.
rush is the fastest teching. Like, you want to get the warp tech out ASAP.
Are you thinking DT rush maybe?
No. It depends. You got to see if he drops this, how quick he drops this second gas. I mean, because usually if you just go one gas, you're committing to like a 4-gate rush heavy stalker zealot. You can get like 1 or 2 sentries really off
2
one
gates.
gas. Okay. 2 gates, no cyber yet. Hopefully this guy drops
People
the
like
cyber
this
now.
to make it hard to cast what's going to happen. There's a cybernetic score. But still, he's probably going to get supply blocked unless he drops a pylon pretty soon.
Usually it's
There
on
we go.
16. There it is, yeah. But he had to stop pro production for a while, which hurts you economically. I still don't know, man. He's got 1 gas. You know what I mean? Like, you
Yeah.
can't do much on 1 gas as Protoss besides like all-in Stalker Zealot builds or all-in Zealot Sentry with no Stalkers. So unless he drops the second gas like soon, he's pretty much committing to like a 4-gate.
Maker, if you look at Maker right now, building that factory right outside of his base, probably just to scout, but still, interesting choice. For you newer players, the proxy barracks, proxy factory scout, where you uplift it, fly around their base, is cheaper than a scan. A mule is going to collect more money than it costs to build one of those buildings. So what a lot of players do is if you have the timings down right, go build that building, and then you're able to fly it around and see longer than a scan. He might be doing something weird though, so because he's heading for the corner.
2 Stalkers coming up to the Terran ramp. They see that bunker and they're out. Dude, he's gonna land this factory in the corner in the dark, and he's gonna put Blue Flame Hellions. I'm calling it.
I think he just might.
I'm switching to Maker's cam right now.
Yep, and there's the land.
I don't.
No Blue Flame.
I don't think
he's
got
just gonna pump
for
out
a tech
Hellions.
lab though.
Nice. We've seen this happen a lot. Boo did this. Boo was very stubborn in doing this, actually. He would land where his opponent could see him, and he didn't care because he kept a count. He had the timings down to where he kept a count of the units. He knew how much money his opponent could have at that time, and was able. He was able to land right where he could see him and be like, I know you're not going to be able to build where I am because I know how much money you have, and was pretty successful in doing that.
Okay, well the second gas is up now, but he opted to go 4 Gateway Twilight Council, which to me says I'm going Blink Stalkers. Like that's all it says. I'm going Blink Stalkers, which against Terran is okay, but I think he still needed that second gas quicker.
Against the barracks units, I don't think Stalkers are that great. He's gonna get stem, and he's gonna have a probably pretty heavy Marauder, heavy army. If you look at his base, he's got 2 tech labs, 1 reactor. So I don't think Stalkers are going to be very effective against that. Blink or no blink, I think they're going to get mauled. Three Hellions are moving out, going after those probes. And if you don't know, 3 Hellions without flame, blue flame, can one-shot. Oh god, he lines up. Oh my god.
7 on 1.
7
1
kills.
On the other,
4 kills. Oh my god.
So
And look at the
probe.
worker count right now. 8 workers to 22 this game.
Another
And he
Hellion.
sends
out.
another one to finish it off. He says that's not enough.
7
gets one.
But back to blink stalkers, I think blink stalkers are great versus a Terran bio ball in small numbers. Obviously, when you're in big numbers, you're going to be backed up by Colossus or High Templar or something beefy to deal with a bigger bio ball. But in small numbers, especially at the beginning of a game, like under the first 8 minutes, I think stalkers are great. Without blink even, I think they're great to deal with it.
However effective stalkers are, it's hard to build them with 10 workers.
This is true. This is true considering they only have one harvester on gas. This is going to be
and he
an
pulls
all-in.
them all. This is an all-in by him, and it's just not going to happen. It's completely blocked off. He's probably not even going to be able to break through. And this is going to be another good
stalkers,
game.
a sentry, and 11 workers versus 7 marauders, which is probably enough to take out everything. 9 marines, 3 of them in a bunker. Here we go. Game. Ooh, blinked up.
He
pass,
blinks by.
It's not going to be enough.
And he says good game, and that's it.
Well, that's it.
And that's it. 3-0 for RS right now. They've taken the win. They might play out their 4th game for points because all the points count, especially at the end of the season. But, I doubt it. What I do like about Maker, though, watching him play, was that he knew he was the better player, but he still played safe. He didn't do anything dumb. If you saw right when they showed up, he was building that turret at the front for detection just in case. He was choosing to build any DTs, and the front was sealed off as well. So even if he didn't have that detection, he couldn't run by. And I really like that. I really like a solid player that plays consistently, and that's what Maker's done every game that we've casted so far. And I like it.
Yeah, I like it too. I mean, I like how he kept his composure and he didn't, just do something off the wall. He was like, well, if you're going to cheese, I can just do my regular. Well, he didn't even really cheese. I mean, this guy, Bashington didn't cheese, but, he's like, well, I can just do my standard play and, as long as I play how I play, I should be able to win, and that's exactly what he did. So I liked his bunker as soon as he saw the 2 gateways that he scouted. Like usually if you see a second gateway before your cybernetics, it's usually either like a zealot rush or you're gonna have quick stalkers or something. So he just threw his bunker up really quick, ended up walling off, and then as you said, put a turret up, which was nice.
Yep, that's basically going to be standard now. You either have to save at least one scan, which I don't think is good, or put up turrets at your choke points, which is what he was doing. It's good play, good solid play by him so far. By the way, I just mentioned again, he is giving lessons for anyone that wants to get those. And like I said earlier, I think it's a good, really good thing to do because I've gotten them myself. It's the website is going to be rsgaming.com for Revolution Sports.
Well, I don't know if we're done or not, but I'm going to fill time by doing some shameless self-promotion. So, if you guys play any games besides StarCraft 2, check us out at www.e-rev.tv. And we have Heroes of New Earth, League of Legends, Left 4 Dead, Counter-Strike Source, Call of Duty Black Ops, and I'm sure there's some other stuff in there I'm forgetting because I'm exhausted. But I know there was just a Heroes of New Earth cast done in the last maybe 15-20 minutes. It finished just before we went live, so you guys can check that out. The VOD is up. Really good stuff. Big Max and Wet the System do the cast for Heroes of New Earth. Pretty good stuff. Pretty good stuff. Probably a lot more amped up than we are tonight because this is God, I feel terrible when you cast a game and you don't say it's interesting. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, and that's not true. It's not that it's not interesting. It's just that you can't get excited as if it was a close game. And the first guy went 4 hatcheries, and okay, they're just saying now the game's over. It's 4-0. So RS takes this 4-0. ESEA,
no
hopefully
way.
They fix. Yeah, who saw that coming? ESEA hopefully fixes their stuff and gets these divisions done. I understand it's the first season, so whatever. But hopefully they get this fixed in the near future.
Yeah, you got to work the kinks out. I mean, obviously, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
SIBO's first season had its handful of issues too, and they're working it out, obviously. But that's what it comes down to. I mean, you have that first season to work the issues out, and then you can tell what the organization's going to be like. Because if they don't fix the issues after that first season, you know, or at least attempt to fix most of them, then you're just like, well, you're kind of not showing any, you know, support for your league.
Yeah.
It doesn't reflect
and
well.
if you're not listening, you're not going to get better. So, yeah, basically
But
that wraps it up. 4-0 for RS against Cheese
so
Factory for ESEA Team League.
we do
That's all I
have
got.
tomorrow, as long as we have someone to do video tomorrow, and you're available as well, Trey. I think it's 9 o'clock Central. You guys can check e-rev's website for the cast time on the upper right-hand side. We're going to have Micro and Macro in the SIVO Professional Playoffs versus Stoked. So that'll be cool.
Yeah, and what better day? Bring your girlfriend. You both can, you know, start a fire, turn on the computer, and watch some StarCraft casting for Valentine's Day. What better to do? You know?
I'm just saying, some people listen to, you know, like,
What's more romantic than that? Nothing.
some people put on, like, music and light some candles and stuff. I dim the lights, put my monitor on full blast, you know, and I let the sweet sounds of StarCraft
Yeah,
soothe our hearts.
I
But,
agree.
so, tomorrow, SIVO Professional, and then also Wednesday, SIVO Professional. Keep it tuned to e-rev, check the calendar, and go watch an old VOD of ours just to get this nasty taste out of your mouth.
Yeah. Just to clean your eyeballs.
This is gross.
All right, let's wrap this up. Let's end this.
Alright, well, anything else, Trey, before we go?
Nothing at all.
Nothing at all? Alright, guys, thanks for tuning in to e-rev.tv, the electronic revolution. I want to thank my co-caster Trey for casting this with me tonight, because I probably would have hung myself if I was doing it alone. As always, I'm Laser, and I'm out.